Chapter 1, Section 9, two-step equations. So this is going to be a much shorter version of the notes, just in case you need to look at the video for some help. Like the title says, this is just a two-step process, and the first step I'm giving you is to always add or subtract from both sides. The second step will be to multiply or divide from both sides. And as I told you in class, the reality is you can actually multiply or divide first and then follow up with adding or subtracting. But for what we're doing, adding or subtracting first will always be our best move. This is very much like chess. So here we go. 3x plus 4 is negative 11. So I'm going to show this in two ways in terms of technique. So this is our variable expression. We want to remove this constant from this side and actually join it with this constant. So we're going to use the inverse. So instead of adding 4, we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. So now these two are additive inverses, and these will equal 0, leaving us with 3x. These are two negatives, so negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. I don't know if you know this yet, but our answer will be a fraction. So this is 3 times x equals negative 5. So the inverse of multiplying by 3 is to divide by 3. And so 3 over 3 is 1, leaving us with x. And then negative 5 over 3 is, well, it's exactly that. It's negative 5 over 3. You don't actually need to change this to a mixed number. Improper is actually fine for right now, unless we had to check our answer. And even then, improper would, for me personally, is a better choice. Alright, now we've got this one. 8 is equal to negative 5y minus 2. So again, this is my variable expression. This right here is my constant, and I want this to join that 8. I want to remove it from my right side and to my left side. But whatever we do to one side, we have to do the other. So the inverse of negative 2 is to add 2 to both sides. So this side is going to be 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 is a sum of 10. And over here, these again are additive inverses. And so this leaves us with negative 5y. Negative 5y is a multiplication expression, so we're going to do the opposite. Instead of multiplying, we're going to divide. So this is 10 divided by 5, excuse me, negative 5. And this will be negative 5y divided by negative 5. Again, simplify. Over here, 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2, and that leaves you with y. and I didn't notice I was not on the screen. Let's keep going here. So we have 4 plus m divided by 7 is equal to 9. The variable expression is right here. We want to remove this 4. Now this 4 is a positive 4. Okay, this is a positive 4. And the opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. So we are going to write our positive 4. We're going to follow that with our negative 4. Then there's our positive m divided by 7. And that's equal to 9 divided by 4. Again, these two are additive inverses, leaving us with 0. And 0 plus m divided by 7 is m divided by 7. And then 9 minus 4 is 5. We have m divided by 7. Something I haven't reminded you of in a couple days, because we simplified our talks, that the coefficient of m is 1 over 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of our coefficient. So this is 1m over 7, and we're going to multiply by 7 over 1. This side's a whole number, so we're just multiplying by 7. There is a 1 underneath, but we're not really needing to show it right now. Over here we have 7 over 7 equaling 1, and we have m is 35. Please feel free to slow down, stop, pause, rewind this video at any given time, alright? I'm just trying to get through this quickly for you. Last one of that style of example, we have x over 2 minus 3 is equal to 14. So I'm going to do the opposite of this to both sides. I teach adding or subtracting as my first step because it is a simpler process for what we're doing right now. In the future, I will actually teach you how to multiply or divide first. So back to this, these two are additive inverses, and as we know, opposites equal 0. So that leaves you with x divided by 2 is equal to, and then you have 14 plus 3 is 17. Again, a coefficient for x is going to be 1x over 2. So we need to multiply by the reciprocal of that, which is 2 over 1. I have a number of students will put an x down here, but that's inappropriate because we can't have x over x. If we do, that equals 1, then 2 over 2 equals 1, and we're left with just 1. And we no longer have a variable to solve for. So then on this side it's 17 times 2. As I was mentioning, this will simplify. All we're left with is x, and then 17 times 2 is 34. Alright, time for some translating of verbal phrases. Excuse me, yeah. Verbal. We're just going to write translating. We did 3 of these in class. So our first one is 17 less than the quotient of x and 2 is 21. So the key key words in this statement are less than, quotient, and the word is. It's a very simple word, but it does mean something pretty important in terms of an equation. Less than is our subtraction clue. Quotient is our division clue. And is equals. Now, subtraction is not commutative, so it's very important to understand that we are subtracting 17 from a quotient of x and 2. So the quotient of x and 2, x and 2. The order they give you these in is the order of the numerator and denominator. Again, this is 17 from the quotient, so it's x over 2 minus 17. And this expression is equal to 21, giving us an equation. The second one, twice a number increased by -4 is 0. I should have actually wrote the word 0. Again, the keywords here, twice, increased by, and is. Twice is a very important clue. Most kids today have said it is multiplication, which is true. And one student even was nice enough to say that it's 2 times a number. Speaking of which, 2 times a number means 2 times, let's say, y. Increased by is our addition. Is equals. So, twice a number, 2y, increased by, plus, -4, is 0. Is there another way to write this expression? Absolutely. Anytime you see a double symbol, double integer like this, you can multiply them to make the expression a little bit simpler. So positive times negative is negative. So this is a fine answer. If you want, you could also give me 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. That would be just as correct. The first one really just represents the phrase word by word. Last one, the product of -3 and a number plus 14 is -7. So product plus is. And since we are talking about multiplication and addition here, the commutative property is in effect. The order has some flexibility. So the product of -3 and a number. The product of -3 and a number. So 3a plus 14 is -7. And there you go. So tonight's homework is page 45, and it's 1 through 14. You did have some class time to start this, and I hope it helped take some of the brunt of your homework away from the weekend. See you on Monday.